With the 1st of July major update, Umamusume is dropping a lot of new skills together with this update, and in this video we will look at these new set of skills. I want to put a disclaimer here at the start of the video as well that most of these skills actually we do not have access to it yet. So the only way to get these skills right now is to just run the UMA on the Make a New Strike scenario and then just running the desired style. So, for example, if you want the new late surger skill, since you cannot access it from any support card yet, you will have to run the late surger style and hope you get a random hint for the new skills. Okay, with that in mind, we can start going through the skills itself. First of all, we get Heart All Set. This is a new gold recovery skill, and it's exclusive to the Pace Chaser for the long distance racetrack. This skill is actually a really good recovery skill, as the only requirement is to not get rushed in the race. If you do not get rushed in the race and you pass the wit check, literally you will get a gold recovery worth of 7.5% recovery skill, which is more than the usual gold recovery of only 5.5%. This skill is also innate to the upcoming Majuro McQueen Summer version, so it's definitely a good gold recovery skill for the Pace Chaser on long distance. We will also be getting the white version of the skill, which is called All Set, and it only provides 3.5% recovery on the skill, but it's a good skill regardless. There will be also a new green skill added for the speed, and this is exclusive to the dirt runners because it only applies to all the dirt races, which is the Kawasaki, Funabashi, Morioka, and the Oi racetrack. We'll also be getting a new third middle leg speed skill, which is Chance of Victory and Sunny Sign. These are good middle leg speed skills. Basically, the only requirement is for your Uma to be in the first half of the pack during the second part of the race. There will be also a new skill that is added with the Grain Life scenario, and these skills are exclusive to the Grain Life scenario, and that is full speed and full tilt. It's also a pretty straightforward skill. Basically, the requirement condition is the same as the skill before, that is chance of victory. You only need to be in the first half of the pack. This is definitely a speed skill you want to grab if it's on a third distance racetrack. Up next on the list is another dirt speed skill, which is Dancer in the Dirt and Down in the Dirt. This is basically the dirt version of Sleepstream. If you have noticed, it is basically the same requirement. The only difference is that it's exclusive to the dirt distance. We seem to be getting a lot of new dirt skill, and this one is also a new dirt exploration skill, which is Be the Center and Got the Spirit. These are both gambling exploration skill that is exclusive to the dirt distance if you're in the first half of the pack on the late race. So yes, it's another gambling exploration skill added for the fronts and pace chasers. The next skill is also a third exploration skill, which is Run Like Crazy and Rapid Gain. This is exactly the same skill as before, but the only difference is that this one is exclusive to the late surger and encloser because the position requirement is if you're in the back of the pack. That is, if you're above the 5th position. This is similar to the old version of On Your Left as well. I feel like they're adding a lot of new skills for the third distance. We're going half through the list, and most of these skills are third distance. The next skill is also a third distance skill. This is a green speed skill, which is strong steps and solid step. It is a unique one where the extra speed is determined by your power stats. If your power stats exceeds a minimal threshold, either 1000 or 1200, you get a higher speed in total. For the gold version, you get 60 speed if your power is over 1000 and 80 speed if your power is over 1200. While for the white version, you get 20 speed for power over 1000 and 40 speed if your power is over 1200. Another green speed skill that is exclusive to the distance, Maestro of the Mud and Muddy. These are another green skill that activates on the dirt distance if the track is on a heavy or a bad track condition. We will be also getting a new speed debuff skill for the dirt distance, Dust Cloud Idol and Dust Cloud. This skill will be exclusive to the Smart Falcon Grand Life version. It's basically a frontrunner skill, and if anyone remembers the old version of the Speed Eater, this is basically almost a similar skill, and it debuffs the speed of the other Umas if you are in the first position and you are leading. Another speed debuff skill for your dirt distance. This one is pretty unique though. It's Catch 'em Off Guard and Oppression. This will be a new set type of skill where it debuffs the speed of the enemy Uma if an enemy character uses a recovery skill in the second half of the race. It's a pretty interesting skill that we'll see used in the longer distance racetrack where the Umas will utilize the recovery skill. Otherwise, for the shorter distance track like sprint or mile, I don't think you will grab this skill. Finally, we're finished with all the third distance skill, and now we go to the specific distance track or style skills. This one will be a pace chaser skill, which is called unstoppable and on the attack. These are really good pace chaser skill. You will get this skill from the Agnes Tachyon speed card. Actually, it's basically a no-brainer speed skill that you will take if you run a pace chaser. It's straight up just a good middle leg speed skill and just a wit check skill to get more speed. The next skills are breaking ahead and breaking out. These are both speed skill that is exclusive to the end closer style. Breaking ahead will be exclusive as well to the Steampunk Narita Taishin version. Both of these skills will increase your target speed and lane movement speed if you are above the 7th position on the middle leg if you're running an end closer. I'll just assume that most of the time this skill will be a normal middle leg speed skill as the lane movement speed will be a little bit RNG. It might help you a bit if you are spreading out on the corner, but it's highly unlikely to happen on every race. It's just an additional speed increase if you happen to hit it on the right timing. We'll be also getting a new skill called Leap Forward. This is actually a unique skill where it activates on two distance aptitude that is sprint and mile distance. Umamusume will also introduce more of this kind of skill where it activates on more than a single distance track as well. This one is actually a really good acceleration skill for the late surger and end closer. Because if you overtake someone on the late race, it basically just increases your acceleration. So it's another reliable source of acceleration skill as a late surger and end closer. Space Chaser will also get another speed skill, which is Ambitious Breeze and Aspire. This speed skill is a new set of skill where it actually has a new condition of activation, such that it will increase your speed if you are leading either in the second position or the first position before entering the late race. However, one thing to note for this skill is that the gold version of the skill is really good because the duration of the skill is 4 seconds and it provides you with 0.25 speed increase. But if you take a look at the white version of the skill, only 0.05 speed increase, and it's basically a pretty bad speed skill to take. For some context, the usual speed skill like straightaway adapt give you 0.15 speed increase for 3-second duration, which total up to 0.45, while the previous skill only gives you zero point 0.2 in total. Next set of skill is claw forward and scramble, but first before I explain this skill, I just want to whine a bit about the localization of the skill because how do we go from the name of the skill of lose yourself and devil may care, which sounds pretty badass for the skill itself, and as a result we got a skill called claw forward and scramble, which is like far worse from the actual skill name. Alright, those things aside, claw forward and scramble is like one of the best introduced skill for the late surger for the long distance. This skill is basically mandatory for the late surger if you want to run the long distance. It's one of the most broken acceleration skill because it just drains your stamina and will give you acceleration when you enter the last spurt. This is one of the best acceleration skill for the late surger on the long distance racetrack. The card that will introduce this later on, the first is the symbolic Chris stamina card. The next two skills is a new pace chaser skill and is exclusive to the medium distance racetrack. This skill, Solid Strike and Steady Gate, increases your acceleration and target speed if you are within 10 meters of the first position Uma. It's a pretty decent skill that have a chance to give you acceleration entering the late race because the activation spot for the skill itself is the first phase later half. The first card that will give the Solid Strike gold skill will be the Augury Cap with card that will come in like 2 months time frame. The card itself is pretty unique because it will give you 5 friendship gauge to every card in your deck, and it's actually a pretty decent card itself. Next, we have a new green skill called the Risk Maker or the Risk Taker for the white version. This skill actually increases your speed, power, and guts, and will give you massive stat boost. For the gold version, it will give you 80 on these three stats, and for the white version, it will give you 40 on each stat. The caveat is that this skill will not activate 100% of the time. The chance is 30% if you're the 3 most popular racers and 60% otherwise. Just a little bit of fun fact as well. The JP version name of this skill is literally called Gambler, so it's definitely just a gambling skill. I would definitely stay away from this skill if you can. The next skill is exclusive to the late surger. It is called Top Gear and Pedal to the Metal. It is actually a really good speed skill. This skill is a really good speed skill for the late surger. It will give you a very high speed boost if you are above the second position and you are below 10 meters away from the lead first position Uma. This skill will give you 0.25 speed increase on the final straight. This is equivalent to something like Triumphant Falls Inherit, which is a really good speed inherit as well. It is sort of like one of those finisher speed skill to help you close the gap, for example, from the fourth position into the first position. Fronts also get a similar type of skill to this, which is called Can Even Catch My Shadow and Firm Resolve. This is also a finisher type of skill where it activates on the final straight. The condition is that the condition is that if you are in the first position and there's a Uma behind you, it's another type of skill to help you close the gap and increase the lead further and just win the race as a front runner. It's definitely a good skill to take as well. We'll also be getting a dual style skill, which is for pace and late surger. So this skill can either be used for a pace Uma or a late Uma. Hot Pursuit and Latch On is a good middle leg speed skill that activates when you try to overtake an Uma. It is a very straightforward speed skill and it's a good skill to take because you will try to overtake someone as a pace chaser and late surger anyway, so it's basically just a weak check for the skill. We'll also get a acceleration skill for the pace chaser in the long distance called Beast Mode and My True Strength. Both of these are actually a broken acceleration skill as well for the pace chaser on the long distance. This skill in JP version is called Monster. It is one of the strongest pace chaser acceleration skill for the long distance racetrack. We'll be getting this skill first with the TM Opera Orbit card. The reasoning why this skill is very strong is that you basically only need to be within 10 meters of the lead in the middle part of the race, and when you enter the late race, you will get a guaranteed acceleration. And any consistent acceleration skill are actually OP and very good to take. We also have a new multi-distance skill called Reckless Charge and No Looking Back. This is a generic good middle leg speed skill for the runner and pace chaser. Basically, you just need to be 5th position or better, and you will activate this skill. Next up on the skill list is Pass My Limits and Eyes on the Goal. This is also a speed skill that will activate in the last spurt. It is very straightforward. It will just activate on your last spurt. However, it is pretty unique because the increase of the target speed is based on the Uma's highest attribute. I believe this skill was also changed in the new JP update, which was on the 5th anniversary, so pretty much the description of this skill is not that accurate. I'm not sure as well about the scaling of the target speed with the Uma highest attribute. Lastly, we also have 6 new skills from the URA finale scenario. These are all available if you compete with Happy Meek, and you get the hints. Basically, how to get it is that you inherit it to your parent Uma, and you get it during your inheritance. Let's take a look at each of these skills. Starting with Racing Spirit Speed, this skill is just your average normal middle leg speed skill. If you have a high handle level from your inherit, then definitely you can grab it. The next skill is Racing Spirit Stamina. This is one of the better skills from the whole set. It's basically a late game speed skill that increase your target speed for 0.25 for 3 seconds with a little bit cost of your stamina. This is a very good skill to have, and most of you who are parent spark farming in URA Finale would likely also want to try and inherit this skill into your parents. Moving on, we also have Racing Spirit Power. It's also another late game speed skill where if you try to overtake someone during the last spurt, then your speed will increase a little. This is also a good skill to take if you are a pace chaser, late surger, or encloser, since you will try to overtake the front Uma as well, entering the last spurt. As for the width version, we also have another speed skill. This is also one of the more straightforward one, and it's similar to Tail Held High, where if you activate bunch of skills, in this case it's only 2, it will give you a 2-second speed skill duration. For the Guts version, this is actually an acceleration skill. It will increase your acceleration if you activate the dueling mechanics. This skill is actually not that good because dueling usually occurs sometimes a little bit late in the race or might not even occur at all. And the acceleration from this skill will actually go to waste, so it's not a good skill to take. You also have Racing Spirit mood. This increases your stamina, cuts, and wit when your mood is good or great. It actually increased 40 for each of these stats. It's a pretty decent skill, but you might want to take note that in the CMs, in the opening rounds, mood are a bit random, so you might not activate this skill on every race. But it's still a good skill regardless, because on the final run of the CM, it is guaranteed to have the great mood anyway for your Umas. Alright, the URA final skills basically wraps up all these new skills that is coming. If you have any questions, you can also join my Discord server, link in the description down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.